Hi guys, so I'm giving a Corona tutorial on how to turn a simple balloon bouncing game like this, where you can tap it, into a funny bouncing professor game with sound effects. And so I want to start off with this original code. So as you can see here, you have the background function, which is just a stationary background, and you can add whatever image you want, and so it's just centered. And then you have the floor image to where it is stationed at the bottom. I'll show you. So this is where it's just stationed at the bottom, and it's static, and it's not going to move anywhere, and the object will not pass through this. And so that's why we have the display content width at 50 to have a thickness of 50, and then content height minus 25, so the whole thing is just shown at the bottom. And so we have a local balloon, which is what the balloon that you saw originally, and that is the object that is the physics are going to be acting upon. And so you have your physics right here, and you add the physics.addBody to the balloon in a bounce of 0.3, and the floor is static, and then the push function balloon apply linear impulse of 0, -2 every time you tap the balloon, which is also this event listener down here. Every time you tap the balloon, it'll go up by a factor of -2. And so I want to edit this code into something like this, to where you have two objects instead of one. And instead of just a balloon object, you have a professor's face, and you can have sound effects with it too. And so I added two objects, Burton and Burton 2, just because Burton is my professor. And so I took a photo, or I used a photo of him and used Photoshop to just cut out his face into a round shape, and I use that photo in this. And so I have two of the same photo, but in two different spots, because we want two different objects. And so we have a sound effect, local my sound effect equals audio.loadSound, and I have a ping pong ball sound. And so that's the name of the audio file. So you want to add that right after you add all the other objects. You got the floor and the background. That's still the same from the original. And so whenever you start the physics, you want to add this audio.play my sound effect, and it's called my sound effect because that's what the name of it is up here, local my sound effect. And so you want to use that for down here. And so down here, when you get to the push functions, you want to basically duplicate it if you want it to act the same between the two, both bouncing objects. So they're exactly the same, the physics are the same on each of them, and so you basically duplicate it, but you want to make sure and putting a 2 on the second one. So like this one's Burton and this one's Burton 2, so you want to make sure and distinguish them so you don't get them confused. And so you want to add a push function for this and put Burton instead of the balloon, and I increase the factor by -8 or to -8, because every time you tap it, it bounces, or it rebounds a lot higher and so I increased that. And then after you put that apply linear impulse, you want to put this audio.play my sound effect. And so whenever you do tap it, it will make a sound. And after you end it, just put the event listener tap push function, and then so that's the end of that one, and you want to duplicate it for everything for the second one, and just make sure and distinguish the two so you don't get them confused. And yeah, see there we got bird number 2, and that's basically it. So we got these two, and they just act independently of each other. And so I can tap this one, and this one keeps falling. And so if you let them go, then they will bounce. And the bounce effect is where you see right here. They have a 0.3 bounce. And so you can increase or decrease that all you want. But I think that's it. Thank you for watching. And this is this is for the Corona SDK. And I have been using Xcode for this as a text editor, but you can use whatever text editor you want. And here's the original. So I kept most of the original, and then I just added the audio file. I duplicated another image, and I forgot one thing. So on here, when I put the Burton face on it, display content x minus 175. So I put one of them x minus 175, x plus 175. And so if it was just straight x, then the face would be in the middle. And so I moved one over 175 in this direction and the other 175 in this direction. And I just picked that number at random, just so both wouldn't interfere with each other, and they both are obviously on the screen. There's neither one of them are hanging off the screen too much. And so kept the ground the same, kept the background the same, and I think that's it. I think I showed you everything I changed. So yeah, there's a way to add fun to your simple bouncing ball game. And if you want to be funny and put your professor's face on a game, then that's the way to go. And this is all done in Corona. Alrighty, thank you for watching.